Now, how do we use the Casio FX991EX ClassWiz calculator, the one black and white one? How do we use that one to do the complex modes? First, there is a menu button. So click on the menu button, which is next to the on button. You press the menu button, and after that one, you select number 2, the option number 2, and it will take you to the complex mode. This is the option number 2. When it's in the complex mode, you will actually see there is a tiny I will appear on the top. Now, if you want to type a complex number for addition, you don't need to put brackets, but it's a good practice to put brackets. But for addition, you don't need to put brackets. Let's say I got these two complex number. One is 2 plus 3i, and another is 5 minus 7i. I want to add them. So to add them, you put 2 and then plus 3. For the I, now you need to press the ENG button. ENG button is next to, it's just above the 8 on your calculator. And now you can see there's a purple I on top of the ENG button. So you can see, press I, and that will give you 2 plus 3i plus 5 and then minus 7 and then again ENG button, and then that will give you an I equals. When you press equal, which is next to the answer, you will get 7 minus 4i. This is how you do addition. But if you're doing multiplication, you do exactly the same. But you need to make sure you put brackets. So you start with a bracket. The bracket is just above the 8 or just above the 9 button. Yeah, and put the bracket and close. You don't have to put in the middle multiplication. The calculator already know that if there are two brackets, it will multiply. Now, how do you find the argument or the conjugate or the real part or the imaginary part of the complex number? So let's say we got a complex number, 1 plus 2i. So you know how to type 1 plus 2i in the calculator. So you press, when you've done 1 plus 2i, that's there. Now, if you want to find the argument, you go on option. Now, option is OPTN, is the one that is below the shift button. You click on that and you will get argument, conjugate, real part, imaginary part. So then you click on number 1. Yeah, number 1, and it will give you ARG. It will give you ARG, and then there will be bracket will appear as well. When this bracket appears, you need to type 1 plus 2 and then ENG button and then close the bracket, and that you will have a complex number there. Now you type 1 plus 2 in for I, just press ENG and then close the button and then press equal. When you done equal, it will give you an answer as 63 or 64, something like that. So 63.43. So when you do that one, just round it off to one decimal place, 63.4. This is the argument of the matrix. Yeah. Okay. Now, then there is another one. How do you convert the complex form and the polar form? So how do we convert a complex form and polar form? Let's say we got a number, but before you do that, you have to be in the complex mode, which means the I should appear on top of your calculator. Okay, so let's say I got a number 2 plus 5i, and I want to convert this one into an polar form. To do that one, what I will do is I will type 2, then plus, then 5, then an ENG button, and then I click on option. When I click on option, sorry, my fault. Just pause that one. Then I click option. After I click option, I will have argument, conjugate, real part, imaginary part, but I won't be able to see these ones. To see that one, just press the down arrow button, which is just above the X square, and you will get option 1, option 2. Option 1 is R angle theta. Option 2 is A plus BI. So you click on option 1, and that will give you 2 plus 5i arrow r angle theta. Then you press equal, and this is going to give you this 29 angle 68. 29 angle 68, but square root 29, let's say you want it in a decimal. So there's a button above DEL in your calculator, blue button, SD. If you press that SD button, it converts into decimal. So 5.3 or 5.4 angle 68. Yeah, so that's the answer you will get. Okay, you can do the other way around as well. You can do the other way around as well. You can convert from a polar form to a rectangular form. But how do we convert from a polar form to rectangular form? First thing is, let's say is you press the AC button to just go out. Let's say there is a polar form 2 angle 330. So you do 2. Now to do the angle button is same as the ENG, but to do that one you need to do shift and then you need to do ENG. When you do shift and then you do ENG, this thing will appear. Then you straight away type 330. Yeah, 330. Now I want to convert this into my rectangular form. So I click on option, which is a button below the shift. Click on, but now I can't see the a plus bi form. So I need to press the down arrow, which is one of the arrow button next to x, above the x square. Press that one, and then you select option 2, and it will give you 2 angle theta, and this will appear a plus bi. When this appear, you press equal sign. When you press equal sign, you will have the answer square root 3 minus I. If you don't like that answer, press the SD to get an answer in decimal. It will give you 1.7 minus iota. Yeah, that's how it works. Yep. Okay. Any questions so far? Now, what if we got the angle in radian? Okay. To do that one, first thing is, if you see, we were all doing in degrees. There was a D button there. To do that one, first thing you need to do is you need to go into the radian mode. To go into the radian mode, what you do is you press shift, you go into menu, and then you go into 2, which is angle setup. Shift, menu, and then it will take you to the 2. So setup, which is now you need to press 2, which is angle units. It will ask you 3 things. Number 1, degree. Number 2, radian. Number 3, gradient. Gradient is the gradient kind of thing. So you select number 2. When you select number 2, you will see that R appears here. The tiny R appear here. Now, if you want to enter this thing to angle 11 over 6 pi, so you do 2, and then for angle it's a shift ENG button. Press the shift and then ENG button, and then fraction, let's say is 11. You press the fraction button. This is just below the option button, over 6, and then pi, which is shift and the button next to the answer. And I want to convert that into the Cartesian, and you just press equal. When you press equal, straight away it will convert 3 minus I, and that will give you the answer. I will upload this video for you online so you can have a look.